All right, I'm going live right quick while this thing's still working. It's been going on and off all day and all night last night. You come on for a few minutes, then they go off for a few minutes. So I don't know how long it'll be on, but I just want to let everybody know I am struggling with this thing and it may be finally getting ready to take a dump. So, I thought I would come in and let Jayden come home today. Uh, he he was having an episode with the key something, I don't know, something about his diabetes type 1. They got his stuff all back in order, so they sent him home today. And that's what's going on. I don't know what I don't know how long this thing's going to be acting up like this. I don't know. Uh, I'm fixing. Thanks for the thumbs up, whoever you are. Got 3 on the porch. but but he's home. Fortunately, that didn't take more than a day. But I didn't know what it was about when they first did it. But this computer may go off. If it does, you know what happened. Uh, I'll tell you what. Got to get what is it? Hey Terry, how you doing, dear? Yeah, that's what's going on. He what do they call that? Ketones. His ketones was off the chart. They said so. I don't know. I guess that means it was high and it's not supposed to be. I don't know. But my beard is itching. I'm almost tempted to shave it off again. It itches. I don't know. I'm so tired of this thing messing up like it's doing. And I'm getting tired of waiting on my daughter to get that computer. She ain't ordered it yet. Well, my YouTube money is probably already hit. I'm just going to go ahead and order the one that I was going to order. She don't want me to order. But as far as I'm concerned, it ain't up to her. It's up to me. Those tornadoes can be pretty scary. At at one time, you hardly ever see those things up in the mountains in North Carolina. But one time, one or two come through. Scared my dad-in-law to death. So he went out to the side of the mountain right beside his house that goes up pretty steep. He went out there and he dug him a cave back in the side of the mountain. for a storm shelter. And he got it all dug out, and he was fixing to frame up a door on the front of it and everything. And he came back out there next he come back out there next day, and he hit a spring. He didn't know it, and it was full of water. So it never did turn into a storm shelter. It's turned into a spring house where they keep milk and stuff, keep it cold, back when they didn't have electricity. But you didn't have to dig far to hit water up there. But he had a nice spring going in there, and he brought it in and everything, and you could drink the water. But he never thought about that. But there's water everywhere up there. You know, there's just on my daddy and mother-in-law's house place there. There's one, two, three. There's four springs on that piece of property. Four springs. Um, and of course they had spring water coming into the house. You know, they had it. They built a reservoir up there on the springs, and they went up the mountain to do it, and they piped it down to the house, so they had running water coming in the house and everything. But it was good water. It was good water. It really was. But that's what's going on. I thought I'd do it while this internet still works. We got a problem with the internet too. It the router is messing up. It comes on and off. Sometimes we got internet. It started doing this last night, and Jay's doing fine. He's he's like he never had a problem. You know, I told him I was jealous. I said, when I was in the hospital, your mama never come spent the night with me. But she went up there yesterday and she stayed there. She stayed there to come brought her home today. Of course, that's her baby. Of course, truth be known, if I could drive and everything, I'd have probably drove myself up there and sat with him too. That's how strong I felt about it. You know, he's such a pain in the butt, but I swear I love that boy so much. I don't know why, he, but he just does stuff, you know, and he helps me when I call him. Hey, Jay, Jay,
Tommy! Yeah.
come here a minute. Say hello to Terry.
Hello.
She was asking about you. See, he's the same old pissy self.
Yeah.
All right, baby. I just want to prove that you'd come running when I call you. I love you. 6'2" and still growing. I love that boy. I love all three of them. Uh, they they're almost like my kids. They're almost like my kids. Uh, I, does that feel the? No, it doesn't feel. Well, I love my kids too. I guess it's because I feel so close to them because I've been around all three of them their whole life. Uh, I was there when they was born, and I raised Jonathan. Me and my wife raised Jonathan, and I spent so much time with Jonathan. Going to the Boy Scouts and everything. It was just wonderful. I did more with Donovan than I did with my own son, and I regret that. But I did. I did whole lot more with Donovan. But I wish I didn't depend on this uh, computer so much. To sit here and do what I do. I just look at a lot of videos. I look at a lot of news. Um, I I depend on it so much, but it's really till I get the battery charger Monday for my scooter. Well, yeah, you're right. It's special. It's special, Terry. But I did. I spent more time doing stuff with Donovan than I did my own son. Up to the time my son died in '86, I was busy with work and everything, and never seemed to have the time. And and Donovan is surprising me a lot about some stuff. This morning when I got up, I went to go to the bathroom, and the bathroom door was locked. I didn't even know that bathroom door had a lock on it. Don't know how it got locked. And I fiddled with the knife and stuff trying to open everything, and I couldn't do it. And I'm like, boy, I hope I don't have to take a dump because the only other bathroom is down some steps to the other end of the house. And but he got up. I told him this morning. I said, "Why is the door? I can't get it open." And directly he come back in. I got it, and he got it open with a knife. I couldn't get it open with a knife. But he surprises me with stuff that he does. And sometimes when my computer's acting up, he'll come in here and fiddle with it and get it to working. So I sell him short on a lot of stuff. I'm sure I do. I'm sure I do. Boy, my face itches so bad. Um, but I hope this thing at least will stay on about 20 or 30 minutes. And of course, I didn't make no video today. I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna be out on the deck tomorrow making a video. Uh, I'm, I've, I've got these two loquat trees. That's some Japanese plum trees. Uh, I've got one of them's about 7 feet tall, maybe taller. The other one's only about 2 foot. I was thinking about giving Tracy one. My neighbor, she comes every time I'm in the hospital. She comes and sees me and brings me some snacks. This time she brought me 2 Pepsis, and I really appreciated that. But she's a nice neighbor. That's the kind of neighbors I like. Um, any of y'all on the porch want to got any comments about anything? Um, well, I may have to shave again. Dadgum. I don't. Do I need a haircut? Yeah. Well, my hair is gray. There, I reckon. I was thinking one time back in the '60s, before my daughter was born. Me and my wife lived in Hickory, North Carolina. And this is when the shopping malls started getting popular. And this was in Hickory, North Carolina. And they just built this brand new mall out there. It was called Catawba Mall. And we took my daddy-in-law and my mother-in-law over to see it. And Daddy, I called him Daddy. We walked in there and started looking around. He said, "Great day. There's a whole bunch of different stores in here." He was just amazed that that mall was like that. It wasn't a big mall, but it was big compared to what he was used to. And and before we moved to Hickory, we lived in Bryson City, North Carolina. And the biggest store in town was an A&P grocery store. I don't even know if they're still in business or not. That back in the day, that's when me and my wife we could go buy a week's groceries for $10. $10. We paid $15 a month for a three room apartment, one bedroom, living room, and a kitchen and a bathroom. $15 a month, and that included lights. That included heat when it was cold. There was no air conditioning. $15 a month. My Lord. Hamburger was only 29 cents a pound. A gallon of milk. Back then, you didn't buy a gallon of milk, you bought quarts. And they was in bottles. They was just switching over to cartons, and stuff like that. But boy, talk about stuff being cheap. Of course, back around 1955, my mom and my stepdad bought a 1955 Fairlane Ford, brand spanking new, $1,900. But they was moaning and groaning about how expensive it was. That same car cost you 40 grand. But yeah, $1,900. Of course, gas was 22 cents a gallon. A gallon of kerosene was 19 cents. Um, just unreal. I don't understand how you're working for a wage and you're just barely getting by, and then you get a raise, and then all across the country, what you've been buying with that low wage, they jack the price up. So as your wages go up, so does everything else. So it just looks like to me you could be in a happy medium there on everything. And not everything just, your wages go up, your commodities and stuff that you buy, it goes up. That don't make no sense to me. But I mean, my God, I remember working for 75 cents an hour, and my daddy made $1.25. I thought, and my daddy was a first class welder. I thought if I could just get up to $1 an hour, I'd be pooping in high cotton. And the first time I was making $1 an hour, I was working for a place called Stiefel Mattress Company. They custom made mattresses in Box Springs. And I worked at the bottom end down there where they processed their own cotton, made their own cotton filling and everything. They get these big bales of raw cotton in there, and you'd have to run it through this machine, and you make big old rolls of cotton. And I was I was breaking up the raw cotton out of the bale and putting it in this thing. It was shredding it up. But at that time, that's when I thought I was smart enough and quit school, and I started to work, and that's where I worked for 16 when I was 16. And uh, I don't think they was out in law would allow a 16-year-old to work around stuff like that. Now that was heavy machinery. I don't know, but anyway, I'm glad Jayden's home. Dad's gone. I don't. Why do I miss that baby when he's just a pain in the butt? And then he gets going, and I get all teary eyed, thinking that he's laying up there all worried there, and he was laying up there, but he wasn't all worried. His ketones. Does anybody know what ketones is on the diabetes type one? I don't. I don't. I mean, I'm diabetic, and I never heard of ketones, but I'm type 2. I'm type 2. Still drinking that flavored water. And I mentioned before on that other live stream, I guess it was, that when I went in the hospital over that period of 9 days, I got about 4 or 5 days into it. I had a bowel movement. Then, when it got up to my ninth day, I had a bowel movement. And that happened to be this last Sunday. And when I come home, lo and behold, I had another bowel movement. And then the next day, I had one that morning and one that evening. That was 5. The next day, I had one. Today, I've had one. Hey, Barbara, how you doing, dear? Glad you could stop by. Jay's out of the hospital now. He come home today. Something about his ketones being off the charts. So they said, I don't know what that. I don't even know what ketones are. But he's home. Barbara, I'm supposed to get that cotton picking charger Monday. I don't know why it took so long. I bet that had to be shipped from China. And used to, I would order something from Amazon. It'd get here the next day or the second day, sure enough. And but it's supposed to be here Friday. And my new hat, the one it has a mount on it, and it's where this here thing will mount right on top of the hat and not pull it off my head. But anyway, that's the purpose of this video. I want everybody. It's been acting up. The computer's acting up. Uh, Jennifer hadn't ordered that. Jennifer hasn't ordered that computer for me yet. So I'm just gonna take the money that's coming in. Probably it may already be here from YouTube, and that's enough in there for me to buy that computer off of Amazon, one like I've been getting. And just get that. She don't want me to get another one from Amazon. So far, every one you've got from Amazon takes a dump. Well, the ones I get from Amazon are refurbished. That means they're already old. They could take this computer here and refurbish it, and it will work great for a while, but then it quits. So when I buy those refurbished ones, those Dell Optiplex, they most of the time they last about a year. So she's wanting to spend. She's wanting to get one that she's got to make payments on. Well, I don't want her to have to make payments. And I'd like to sit down with Jennifer and try to have a civil discussion with her about finances and not caring one bit to pack on that extra payment. She got it just, and that stove she just bought that the landlady should have had about that range. Crazy. It's like I know this. We are a poor family. Poor, and it's nobody's fault but my own. I raised my daughter, and I'm responsible for a lot of things that just happened in my life. But we're poor. And when you're poor, you've got to live poor. You've got to stay within the means of your budget. And I see where she makes some mistakes. And boy, she'll jump up and down about she gets real hyper when we're discussing stuff. I love her to death. But there's nothing like, I want to talk to her. I'm just scared to death. I hope she don't wind up like me, having to depend on her kids. And in my case, I depend on my daughter. I depend on Donald, my oldest grandson, big time. Big time. He helps the nurse when the nurse comes and looks at my foot and everything. Uh, he helps there. When I go to the doctor, he goes to the doctor. He's my ears. He repeats stuff that the nurse is telling me, and I can hear him. The tone of the voice of somebody's voice has a lot to do whether I can understand them or not. And Donald has a deep voice, and I can understand him. Unless he's getting irritated. And when he gets irritated, he starts talking too loud, and it just goes in one ear and out the other. I can't understand him. My daughter, I can understand if she talks normal, but if she starts kind of screaming, I can't understand it. But yeah, Barbara, that that ah, pain in the side of my foot right there. That battery charger should be here Monday. That's the 6th. That and that hat. I ordered three things when I ordered that. I ordered that hat, and I ordered a little 3 pound bag of dog food for my dog, and I ordered that battery charger. The hat was about $11. The dog food was about $4 or $5. The rest of it went towards the battery charger, and I can't do the math in my head how they come out. But if Barbara hadn't sent that money, I'd been up the creek waiting on the battery charger. I'm still trying to get one from the VA. I'm not going to let them off. I wish I lived close to you, Barbara. I might wind up being your sidekick. Nah, it'd be too much trouble. Too much trouble. I want to go visit some of my old friends out in Central. But the thing about it, if Jennifer took me over there, they wouldn't have a. I wouldn't be able to get out and go inside and all that stuff. If I went and visited my sister, I'd have to sit out there in the truck or in the car talking to her because I can't get up them steps and stuff in her house. But it is what it is, folks. I'm just scared to death. This computer. See, I want this computer to keep running. Have still be running when I get the other one, because then I could transfer some of the data over to the new computer. And I got a lot of old data I don't want to transfer, just certain things. Um, I am craving. I got this recipe. You take cabbage, take a head of cabbage, cut it in half, and cut it in fine strings, you know. Then you do carrots the same way. Then you squeeze a couple cloves of garlic in it. You put, for the size cabbage you use, depends on this, but usually it's about 3 eggs. And you mix that all up in 3 eggs. You put, while it's still good and moist, you mix in a little bit of flour. And then it's pretty firm, you know. And you make patties. And I would bake them about that round, about hamburger size. And you fry them things. Preferably, you use bacon grease. And you can salt and pepper to taste. And I swear, folks, people, that stuff is like, it's better. It's better than meat. It is so good. And there's a couple of other things that you can make out of cabbage like that. depending on what you want to put in it. I got one recipe. I ain't got a recipe. It's just in my head where you do basically the same thing I just told you, and you mix in mushrooms. Mm-mm-mm. My goodness. Oh my lord. That stuff's so good. But this computer's been on about 30 minutes now. I'm 35 minutes. I'm amazed. But yeah, and I love cabbage anyway. I love to take cabbage and put it in the food processor and chop it up into pretty small pieces. In other words, make slaw. And I like to use that Hellman slaw dressing in it. Man, I could sit there and eat a little cereal bowl full of that stuff. I don't know how bad is that. Would that be bad for me? I don't know. I don't know. Man, I wish I had a head of cabbage here. Uh, but anyhow, folks, that's what's going on. Jayden's home. I'm so happy. And he just, he, he's just, folks, leave me some thumbs up. There's six of you on the porch. I only see three thumbs up. Um, he's a pain in the butt. I love you so much. Oh my gosh, I do. Um, I had a story. Uh, we were staying with grandmama. Occasionally we'd go over to these people's house, and all I ever knew her name was Aunt Clyde. She wasn't really an aunt or an aunt, and we go up there and eat lunch or something, and she always had fried chicken, or, and she had fried chicken, and she had uh, uh, pork chops, which we couldn't touch, because if we reached for that pork chop, grandma would pop that hand. You didn't get eating any of that pork, and I love pork chop. and, and one day we was over there, and we ate. We didn't get to eat any of the pork chops. There's pork chops left. And grandma was getting up, walking in the other room, and we was getting up. And I reached over there and snagged me two of them pork chops. And I stuck them under my shirt. And they were still kind of warm, weren't really hot. And then I went outside to the toilet. Didn't have a bathroom in the house. And I walked around behind the toilet. And I was sitting behind that toilet. I just about eat one, and I was starting to eat the other one. And for some reason, Grandma decided she was going to walk through the garden. The garden was beside the toilet, kind of towards the back. And Grandma was going back there, and she come back there, and she seen me eating something. And She started quizzing me, what is that? I'm like, pork chops. Pork chops, Grandma. And she carried me up and started hitting me on the back. Stand out, stand out, stand out. And I swallowed some real quick and spit the rest out. And she took that other pork chop, she pitched it over there in the garden, and the chickens went after it. Oh my goodness. Man, my grandma just did not believe in the pork. She was a Seventh-day Adventist, and boy, she was strict with it. She did not shop or do any trade on Saturday, which was the Sabbath. And the way they looked at it when the Sabbath went down on Friday evening, that was the beginning of the Sabbath, and the end was when the sun went down on Saturday. And when the sun went down on Friday evening, that started, and it lasted till the sun went down on Saturday. And they didn't trade. And poor little old George got a spanking big time one time for buying 2 cents worth of candy at the store. Me and my Carolyn, my sister had done it too, but we was fast and we didn't take our time walking back across the street. And here comes Jordan munching on that candy. Had a sucker. Oh, who's Joan? Joan sent you. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Who is Joan? If I got a Joan on here? Hey, Paranormal. Thank you so much, Joan. I appreciate it so much. If my scooter had a full charge on it, I'd ride down to that little restaurant and get me an order of chicken livers. I've been craving some of them things. I love them things. But I try not to fuss at my daughter about much of anything. There's a lot that I want to comment about, but I mean, bless her heart, she's an old maid. I call her old maid because she's never been married. She's got 3 children. Actually, she's got 4 because you have to count me. I am a liability for her. She takes care of me, but she needs. Who is Joan? I don't see a Joan on here. I have to go. Thank you, Barbara. Love you, dear. My favorite redhead. I appreciate you so much. I just want you to know that. But anyway, I done forgot what I was talking about. Who is Joan? Who is Joan? Uh, anyway, she's got a full plate. She works full-time job overnight. She comes home about 9. No, she gets home about 7. And she has to take that baby to school um, and pick him up. She has to get her sleep during the day. She gets off on Mondays and Tuesdays. But then she's got to help me. She comes in here and makes some changes in my bed linens and stuff. And oh man, a sharp pain in that foot. Anyhow, folks, that's about 45 minutes. I appreciate all of y'all coming in and please, please, if you haven't already, send me an email to, and I'll write it down here, KRSHTBBR. Um, am I not writing it? Where the heck is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. There's my email address. If any of y'all that haven't sent me an email to me, send it so I'll have your email address. Cause I got some little cards I can make up that I can send out on the email. I can't afford to send them like regular mail because it's expensive and I can't afford it. But anyway, folks, Jayden's home, and Grandma didn't want me eating pork chops. Oh, she's a self-savage. And believe it or not, a lot of people don't know this. My name is Russell McLendon Pearson Jr. My daddy's name is Russell McLendon Pearson Sr. My son that passed away, he was Russell M. Pearson III. But somewhere along the line, my daddy was named after a preacher that went around having these tent revivals all the time. And Grandma, she believed in them tent revivals. And the name of that preacher was Sacon Mac. His name was McLendon, Sacon McLendon. And my daddy was named after him, and I supposing, I guess technically I was named after him, and so was my son. I miss my son so much. But anyhow, folks, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I appreciate you so much. Thank you, and I'll see you. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting how to work this. Boom, boom.